Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Here in the WRAL Live Center, we are following breaking news of shots fired not at just one location, but two different ones in Raleigh. Join me in just a bit as I break you down what we know from investigators this morning.
And a big high pressure system brought us all that sunshine yesterday, but it's also going to heat us up later in the week. I'll show you when we'll see a high of 90.
We will lose employees. That's the message from Wake County educators to the county if county commissioners do not help fund their spending proposal. Just ahead, a look at the call for help today.
It is 6 o'clock. A lot happening on this Tuesday morning, including this spectacular sunrise. Welcome to the golden hour, and we're matching it today, Jeff. Hi, I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your Tuesday as we get things going. Some breaking news to get to and a lot to talk about here this morning, so we're glad you're with us. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. Ours is better than yours, Elizabeth.
It is, you're right. But it's not bad. It's nice and clear here at RDU. Really, just about 10 minutes ago, we had some gorgeous color in the sky, but we don't have a lot of cloud cover. So there's nothing there to really help produce those pretty colors there in the sky. Right now it is 57 in the Triangle with a dew point of 55, so it feels fantastic. If you're a morning exercise person, you're going to notice just how delightful it feels. 54 in Goldsboro, 52 Roxborough, 56 in Southern Pines, and hour by hour mid-70s at lunchtime. Definitely outside for lunch if you can, and then highs in the mid-80s. I'll show you the pattern change. It's going to bring 90s back into our forecast later in the week. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, at 6:01, we're getting a quiet start to our morning commute this morning. All the major thoroughfares in Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill are free and clear this morning. I do want to alert you about a traffic alert this morning. One lane of I-40 coming on to the ramp, heading to I-70 eastbound, highway eastbound, heading to Johnston County. That one lane will be closed in less than an hour from now. We'll keep an eye on it and let you know if it's going to affect your morning commute.
Ken, I have some jarring video I want to show our viewers right now. This is a live image right now here in Raleigh. This is where investigators are looking into this situation. Look at the ground there. As Raleigh police are saying that they're investigating shots fired at two different locations. Look at the ground. I count at least 40 evidence markers that are there on the ground. And the belief is that if you see evidence markers and you're hearing their shots fired called, the belief is that there are shell casings at each one of those markers. Now, it's a little difficult to tell from this angle, but that is what it appears to be right now. You see the investigator that's kneeling down right there on the ground taking photos. We're being told that they first received a shots fired call on Fitzgerald Drive. That was around 3:30 this morning. And then another shots fired call was something that dispatched them around the same time to Garner Road and Bragg Street. Our photojournalist behind the camera zooming in so you can get a better perspective on it. Now, we are being told an update from Raleigh police that the home that was shot up on this street did not have people inside. They clarified that with us within the past 5 minutes. So that is good. We've updated our banner there at the bottom so you can see that. But clearly investigators are out there on the scene right now in Raleigh trying to make more sense of what is happening here at this particular moment. We're trying to get more details for you. And at this moment, what you're seeing right now is from the camera. And behind it, yes, we have our photographer, but we also have WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. Join us again in about 5+ minutes. And she is going to be here to tell you a little bit more about what she is seeing on the ground from the perspective that we can't see here back in the studio.
Certainly a stunning scene there, Chris. Thanks for the update. An 18-year-old, meantime, is accused of shooting at officers who were executing a search warrant. This happened last night in Weldon in Halifax County, and Nick Perlin is there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
Officers arrested an 18-year-old late Monday night after they say he fired shots at them when they were executing a search warrant. Now take a look at this video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. This is where officers say this shooting happened in the 1000 block of Elm Street in Weldon, North Carolina. We know the Halifax Regional Drug and Gang Task Force were carrying out a search warrant. At some point, shots were fired from the home at law enforcement, and then more shots were later fired. Officers arrested 18-year-old Umel Jackson. We're still trying to find out what led to the search warrant, and we're still trying to find out what charges Jackson will face. In Halifax County, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Today, some of your children's teachers in Wake County are calling for better pay. WRAL's Laura Levine is live at Southeast Raleigh High School. And Laura, they're planning to rally before the county's public hearing on its spending plan.
Renee, educators and employees who spend a lot of time in schools like this one here behind me, they tell me that their efforts have been successful in getting the school board on board with increasing funds, but now the ball is in the court of county commissioners. They're asking them today to do what they say is the right thing. Take a look at this. Currently, 54% of the county's proposed budget makes up education. The budget includes a $49 million increase in the Wake County Public Schools general fund appropriation over the prior year's budget. That's $14.2 million still short of the Board of Education's proposal. The Wake, North Carolina Association of Educators says this means that essential components such as desperately needed raises for staff, maintaining on-site full-time substitutes, and critically important behavioral support positions could all be on the chopping block.
I believe in our education system, and the Wake County school system needs help. We need to pay our teachers a living wage.
The people who educate our students each day should be paid livable, comparable wages to those of county workers, and we can't get there if the current request isn't funded.
We've also been practicing.
That's some of those educators and supporters speaking out at yesterday's public hearing. They plan to do the same today. They're planning a rally at 6:15 ahead of that meeting. Laura Levine, WRAL News. We are live in Raleigh.
The cost of school breakfasts and lunches in Wake County may be going up. Today, the school board will vote on whether to raise all meal prices by a quarter next school year. The cost for elementary school meals would go up to $1.75 for breakfast and $3.50 for lunch. Middle and high schoolers would pay $2 for breakfast and $3.75 for lunch. That would cost families nearly $45 more a year for each child who eats a meal per day at school.
Funeral ceremonies for Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi get started today. Crowds are gathering to mourn his death after a helicopter crash Sunday. And Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says the U.S. has no knowledge of the cause of that crash, had nothing to do with what happened. Iranian officials are investigating, but still no indication of what went wrong. There was a lot of fog in that mountainous area where the helicopter was flying and went down. That may have played a factor. Elections to choose Raisi's replacement will take place next month.
And we're following breaking news. Raleigh police are investigating 2 shots fired incidents they believe are connected. One happened at a home on Fitzgerald Drive. Chris Lovingood was talking about this in the WRAL Live Center. Kelsey Coffey continues our team coverage now. She is live at the home this morning. Kelsey, police say another shots fired call went out nearby around the same time.
Renee, that's exactly what they're saying. So police received a call about shots fired at this home on Fitzgerald Drive around 3:30 this morning. So you can still see investigators are here at the home. Dozens of evidence markers are in the street right now. I'm counting at least 30. Chris counted 40 just a few minutes ago. But police say bullets hit the home, but no one was here at the time, so no one was injured. And police also received a second shots fire call around the same time in this same area, only about 4 minutes away. That shots fire call came from the intersection of Garner Road and Bragg Street. So police believe that these 2 shootings are connected, and we're working to find out more information on the details of this investigation. We'll be sure to let you know as soon as we find out. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Durham Schools employees who want to unionize are frustrated with the school board. Dozens of them walked out of a budget meeting saying Durham Public Schools is not willing to hear their voice. The Durham Association of Educators says unionizing would allow them to better address staff needs. About 50 employees walked out of a Durham school committee meeting last night, and that committee was formed earlier this year amid a months-long dispute over pay and working conditions. The DAE says the school board handpicked people who oppose unionization to sit on that committee. State law forbids public employees from forming a union. New this morning, the Biden administration says it has granted more than 1 million claims to veterans who were exposed to toxic substances. The administration announced this morning more than 888,000 veterans and survivors are now getting benefits through the PACT Act. That includes more than 74,000 here in North Carolina. Biden signed the PACT Act into law in 2022. It's the largest expansion of benefits and services for toxic exposed veterans in more than 30 years.
A memorial service is happening today for Roxborough Police Canine Kilo. Last week, Canine Kilo received emergency surgery at the NC State Vet Hospital. His handler noticed that the dog was suffering from bloat, which is a serious issue involving a dog's stomach.
and sadly, he passed away. The department is holding a service for him today at Roxborough City Hall. It's happening this afternoon at 3. Another American is now facing up to 12 years in prison for bringing bullets to Turks and Caicos. How the latest, a grandmother says the ammunition ended up in her bag.
And big news for bargain shoppers fed up with inflation. We'll tell you which major retailer is slashing prices nationwide.
Beautiful sunshine in our forecast for the next several days. But once we get to the weekend, wouldn't you know it, we're back to showers and thunderstorms. I'll walk through the timeline for what we can tell will happen this weekend coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. It is a beautiful morning out there. Our temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s, which feels very comfortable. Our muggy meter is way down, and we have a pretty sunrise in progress, especially right here in Raleigh. You can see the sun just peeking through the buildings there in downtown Raleigh. Look at Durham, and of course, this is the DBAB homestand for the Durham Bulls. Starts today, lasts all the way through the holiday weekend, and it's pretty in Fayetteville too. That's sunrise, clear skies there. Watching for a little bit of patchy fog. We really haven't seen much of it develop. A lot less than we saw yesterday, but there could be a few rural areas where we're seeing just a little bit of fog in a low spot. Heading out the door this morning, just expect a good bit of sunshine. It's going to be a warm afternoon. If you're walking the dog mid-afternoon, temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Ken?
Hi, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. No major crashes to report. We look at our live sensors this morning. All the major thoroughfares in Raleigh are free and clear this morning. Similarly, in Durham and Chapel Hill, all the major roadways, not a problem to report. Here's something that's backing up what we've been talking about. I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road traffic has picked up a bit in the westbound lanes, but moving smoothly at this hour.
Ken, thanks. If you live or work in southwestern Wake County, you can share your feedback on the future development of the area. There will be a virtual meeting at 11:30 a.m. today for the Western Wake Area Plan process. This map shows the area we're talking about west of Holly Springs and Apex, near Chatham and Harnett counties. This is the fourth of 7 areas the county is focusing on as part of its new comprehensive plan. You can join this morning's virtual meeting by visiting wake.gov/WW.
There are now 5 American tourists charged with possession of ammunition on Turks and Caicos Islands. A Florida grandmother is the latest. Sharita Greer went to the islands with her daughters for a Mother's Day trip. Authorities arrested her at the airport after security found 2 bullets in her bag. She says she has kept a gun for protection in that bag before, and TSA in Orlando didn't find the ammunition when they searched her carry-on.
It was an honest mistake. It fell up under the bottom of the flap on, in my carry-on. And there was no way possible that I could see it because it's a flap in the bottom. They took the bottom of the flap out the bag.
Pretty tough laws in Turks. Greer and the other 4 Americans now being held on the islands each face up to 12 years in prison.
We all continue to feel the effects of inflation. And if it's taking a bite out of your wallet, Target may be able to help with that. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey here now with what the retail giant plans to do.
Renee, get ready to pay less at Target. They're slashing prices on more than 5,000 items in their stores nationwide. We're talking milk, fruit, pet food, and diapers. Many of the reduced price items, they'll come from Target's brands Good & Gather and Everspring. And they're hoping to keep shoppers who are fed up with inflation and high prices everywhere. This comes as Walmart shared that consumers, they're being more selective with their purchases.
What's behind this decision by Target? Consumers have been showing, since the inflation surge of a few years ago, very strong price fatigue. Increasingly, we're seeing it, especially lately, for sort of the middle income consumer who may be more likely to be shopping at somewhere like Target.
And it's not only Target. McDonald's announced its limited edition $5 value meal last week. And chain restaurants like Chili's and Applebee's, they're also serving up discounted dishes. As summer heats up, consumers looking for those prices to cool down a little bit. Fingers crossed. It's all coming up on Today. Renee.
Michelle, good to know that our Target runs will cost a little less on the necessities so that we can fill our carts with all the stuff that we don't really need. You know how you run into Target, you're like, that's cute, that's cute. Okay.
Exactly.
Michelle, thank you.
Renee, I do have an alert for parents out there who have children attending Northampton County schools. We have just been told, and we looked at the website to get verification on this, that the schools there will be on a 1-hour delay today. You'll see right there because of foggy conditions. You'll note in that alert. This is what you see when you go to the Northampton County Schools website. Now, this is something that we're going to continue to look at to see if there are any other delays that might be because of this. We know that this alert is going to be in place. It says until 1 o'clock this afternoon. So if you're a parent out there and you usually have a child that you have take the bus or something like that, definitely check in with the county to make sure you have that in order so that you are not caught off guard necessarily by it. But again, we're talking about a 1-hour delay for Northampton County schools today.
North Carolina native Josh Sanders is hoping to come out on top during tonight's finale of The Voice. Sanders sang 2 songs last night. Here's part of that performance.
We gathered round your grave to grieve. Who I am, that's the man I'm gonna.
Sanders is one of 5 finalists competing to win the competition. He is on Team Reba. He says at this point it's anyone's game. You can watch tonight to see if he is crowned the winner on WRAL at 8 p.m.
It is 6:18, and our towns are having a sunrise competition this morning on our WRAL live cam network. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Who's wearing it best, Elizabeth?
Yeah, you know what would happen if I picked one? So no picking. It's gorgeous everywhere. Our dew point, our humidity is nice and low. Our temperatures feel great and beautiful sunshine looking gorgeous in Goldsboro. The camera's not turned exactly in the right direction to see the sunrise at Apex and Chapel Hill, but you can tell there's a beautiful glow there. And both of those downtowns, Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant, and in Fayetteville, that sun is coming up and looking pretty as well. We can thank high pressure for bringing us all the sunshine that we saw yesterday and that we'll see today. High pressure systems have sinking air associated with them. That tends to reduce the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. So we tend to see dry conditions, or mostly dry conditions, with a high pressure system. A high pressure system also rotates clockwise. And as that high moves farther away from us, it's going to start to drag in some warmth and moisture from down south. So we are going to see our heat and humidity climbing, especially Thursday. Thursday looks hot. And then we'll see a developing system that's back to our west rolling in time for some showers and thunderstorms starting Friday. And that setup's going to be with us all weekend long. The cold front will come in and stall. We'll see scattered late day, afternoon, and evening thunderstorms over the weekend starting Friday and continuing all the way through Monday. So it will be unsettled, but it's not likely to be a washout. We take a look at Futurecast, and you can see at 8 a.m. we are dry, but there are some showers and thunderstorms back to our west. There's lunchtime, and it may be closer to the evening commute that we start to see some showers and storms. Now, it is Friday of Memorial Day. Rain in the evening as people are trying to head out to wherever they're going. It's going to make for some messy conditions, so keep that in mind as you're making your travel plans on Friday. This version of Futurecast still showing some showers for us in the morning and then some scattered storms during the afternoon. I think we're really trending just to afternoon and evening, but we'll see how the future runs of this model continue to handle that. Sunday morning, we are dry with just a small chance of showers and thunderstorms pretty late in the day or even overnight Sunday, and then we'll have a chance again on Monday. We're putting it at about a 40 to 50% chance each day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Between now and Saturday, we'll likely have anywhere from a quarter of an inch to almost an inch of rain. It all depends on whether or not you end up seeing one of those thunderstorms. Feeling fabulous today, not so much on Thursday. 92 degrees with mostly sunny skies, likely to feel more like mid to upper 90s with the heat index. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, we were checking our traffic sensors this morning. Nothing to report this morning. No major crashes to report either on the Beltline or 87 coming in from Knightdale. Similarly, in Durham and Chapel Hill, nothing to worry about in all the major thoroughfares, which is a good thing, right? Heading out this morning, this is I-440 and Lake Boone Trail. If this is part of your morning commute, you have smooth sailing, nothing to worry about this morning. We have a traffic alert that we want to tell you about this morning. Down in Garnet, exit 309. One lane of I-40 eastbound will close. That's the lane onto Highway 70 heading toward Johnston County. That will close around 7 o'clock this morning. We'll keep an eye on it and let you know if it's going to affect your morning commute. Of course, if you're heading out, you can always listen to us at 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
Ken, thank you. And we want to let folks know the memorial service for Roxborough Police K-9 Kilo will actually take place next Tuesday, not today.
There's confusion over Durham's Bimbe Festival no-show that has led to an investigation now. The work city leaders plan to do to find out what went wrong and why Monica didn't show up to perform.
WNBA fans, players, and coaches all hold their breath when Caitlin Clark goes down with an injury. How she was able to return to the court after the scary moment.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Scarlett Johansson is fighting back over an AI chatbot she says used her voice without her consent.
Ken Smith here now with What's Trending. Ken.
AI changing the tech landscape. The actress says OpenAI's chatbot called Sky used a voice that's eerily similar to hers. OpenAI says it will no longer use the bot, which some users criticize for its flirtatious tone. Some critics say it sounds like something from a male developer's fantasy.
Yeah, they reluctantly took it down, but, you know, when she lawyered up, they had to reconsider there. I mean, it sounds a lot like her.
Lot,
and
yes.
all the deep fakes that we're seeing and hearing now, I mean, they are exact replicas. You can, I mean, it's I've seen a bunch of them over the weekend after the golf tournament, PGA Championship, things like that coming out. It's
all they need is 10 seconds of a sentence that you say, and they can create like a whole speech from you.
Yeah, and it's so hard to delineate what's real and what's not, right? Well, here's something that's real. The new Deadpool and Wolverine movie is expected to feature lots of cameos, and rumors are flying. Taylor Swift may be one of them, playing the role of Dazzler. Star Ryan Reynolds, don't swoon, Renee, addressed the rumors already, saying anything could happen.
How lucky am I? 2 days in a row, Ryan Reynolds. But we're talking about Taylor here, whether she might make the movie cameo. So speculation really kicked into overdrive when Taylor was spotted at the Chiefs versus New York Jets game with Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy and, of course, Ryan Reynolds. You know, she's besties with Blake Lively, who's married to Ryan Reynolds. So who knows? It could be something.
Minds want to know.
Hey, first 2 days of the week are taken care of. What's tomorrow?
We'll ask our producer
reference
Dave.
Tomorrow.
He knows what gets Renee excited. Hurricanes fans celebrated an incredible season at the annual Paint the Ice event. Season ticket holders shared their love and appreciation for the team at PNC Arena. And they certainly left their mark on the ice with messages like Hockey City Raleigh, In Rod We Trust, Cause Chaos, and Loudest House in the NHL.
Wake County school employees are calling on county commissioners today to support staff. Just ahead, why they're saying that the current county budget proposal is not enough.
And a gorgeous start this morning. It feels very comfortable heading out the door. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Uncomfortable on Thursday with that high of 92. We'll talk about how it will feel as the humidity goes up coming up.
And dozens of evidence markers are outside of this home in Raleigh after Raleigh police got a call of shots fired. Coming up, how police are investigating two incidents they say could be connected.